Hey guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Tonight we are the Thursday night Power Hour, and we will be talking about the up and coming 4 Gear Challenge. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Let me just get things going here. Wow, we got a very busy house tonight. Let's just take a moment and say hi to everybody who's here tonight. Wow, fantastic. The Fingers, thank you very much, brother. Absolutely appreciate you being here. Kenny, my friend, thank you for joining us, brother. Absolutely fantastic. Tom, thank you very much. John, thank you, brother. Absolutely appreciate it. Hey, my most favorite slot car dealers are in the house. Thanks for joining us, Billy. I absolutely appreciate it. Sunday Slot Cars. If you haven't dealt with them, go do so. Check them out on YouTube. They've got a link to their store. Thanks, Billy. Who else do we have? Mike G, thanks, brother. Absolutely appreciate it. Hey, Southern Slot. Hey, Chris is in the house. Southern Slot Racing. All right. Not paying attention. Hey, Steve. How you doing, brother? Donald, thanks for joining us. Absolutely appreciate you being here, brother. Thank you very much. And we have Scott's House of HO Racing. Thanks, Scott. Absolutely appreciate it, brother. If you guys haven't checked out Scott's House of HO Racing, please do so. Juan, thank you very much for joining us, brother. Fantastic. Woo. Man. Rick, thank you very much. Kevin, thank you. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, guys. My moderator, thank you, Robert. Looks like we may need you tonight. Adam Hurt, the original Adam Hurt. If you haven't checked him out on YouTube, please do so. Roski Dance, thanks for joining us. Oh, cold Vermont. Yeah, we're expecting, I think we're expecting between 15 and 25 centimeters. So that's like a foot. So this is what I could possibly wake up to tomorrow, guys. So, you know, I know Mark's probably sitting in his air conditioning. Oh boy. Yeah, no, I was just checking the snowblower actually earlier today, making sure everything was ready to roll. So
it was even cool here. We were down in the 50s this morning.
Oh my gosh, in the 50s. Yeah, you could almost support a snowball for like 10 minutes. All right. So what do we got here? Sunday. Yeah, thank you very much, Sunday. Absolutely appreciate it. And Tom Young, thanks, brother. Tom, where are you? Right there. Thank you, Tom. Absolutely fantastic. Kevin, thank you, brother. Absolutely appreciate it. You know, I'm going to say hi to everybody. I don't care how long this takes. I absolutely appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you very much. William, thank you very much, brother. I think that covers everybody who's come into the house. Woo! Damn, thank you guys. 100% appreciate it. So, if you're not aware of what's been going on, I'm running the 4 Gear Challenge. It's a little on the smaller side, but we got a good crowd here, a good mix. What was happening is, of course, I have this drag strip I built. I bought the Sick Dragon timing system for it. It's a really good timing system from Stockpile Hobbies, Steve at Stockpile Hobbies. So once again, thanks to Steve at Stockpile Hobbies. So tonight we're going to talk. We have two of the competitors here tonight. Here we have Chris from Southern Slot Racing, and we have Mark from Mark's Slot Car Garage. And so this would be a package Mark would recognize.
And I don't know. I sent that so long ago. I can't even remember.
And this will be a package Chris will recognize. So we're going to be having a look at those in a minute.
I was going to say, Dan, there was a little talk on the side that maybe Dan pocketed our chassis and took off.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you can go to AFX_man and
Her chassis.
or on eBay. They're listed 4-Gear Challenge chassis. So, okay, so obviously what we got going on here is we have ourselves a 4-gear race. It's a proxy race. I didn't ask anybody to bring in the shells. I got lots of those. I'm more interested in just looking for a better or faster way to improve the 4-gear chassis. It's pretty slow and lumbering. Mind you, if you put 2 of them together, you got yourself a legitimate race. But putting that next to anything else, and you're going to have a bit of a problem because one car will be at the other end of the track before the 4-gear even starts turning. Of course, the DR1 GT is an excellent, and of course, we can talk about which way the armature's pointing, but it's still much faster on way different levels than the 4-gear. But the 4-gear is an enjoyable car. If you have, like I said, if you're putting a 4-gear against a 4-gear, you got yourself a good competition. So the whole point of this, guys, was I invited everybody to, of course, first person down my track, the fastest is the winner. It's pretty simple. That person I will send all the chassis to, plus what I will be putting in for a prize. Depending on who that is, it'll be different things because I know different people in my in this competition are sort of collecting different things. It wouldn't make sense to give Mark, a normal 4-gear chassis car because
I was just going to say, if I win, you can give away all the chassis.
Oh, okay, folks. Well, there you go. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, Mark. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely cool. And the whole point of this is not for anybody to come out ahead, because certainly I'm not gaining anything. Nobody's gaining anything here. Really, what we're just trying to do is it's just a fun contest to try and make the 4-gear a little more enjoyable. It's not really nobody's taking home the check for $1,000. Well, I did. Your cut's like $3. So, hey, Slot Car Daddy, thanks for joining us. Yeah. So you came in just in time. We're just talking right now, of course, about what's going on. All right. So either you want to volunteer to go first?
Sure. Go for. You can open mine.
I don't know who's I'm pulling. Yours, this one here. Okay. All right. So what I have here is Mark's box with the. Thanks for joining us, Mike. With the chassis in it. So I'm just going to open it here. Maybe I'm going to open it here. What am I missing? Okay, well, all right.
I guess you're not shipping it back in that box. Good thing I
don't. All right. Okay. Let me focus it on me for a brief moment.
Oh, that looks like a winner right there. It looks fast right out of the package.
Well, yeah. Come on now. Oh boy. All right. Okay. All right. So let me. Okay, there we go. That's a good look at it right there. Okay. Nice. We got, let's just see my observation. We have S1s on the back. If I'm wrong, stop me, Mark.
I think they're S1s.
Yeah, and you have Independence on the front.
Yeah, probably a little overkill there since it's just going straight down the track. But I had a spare front end. I actually cut down the axle and threw on an independent front end. And those are Viper pickup shoes. So a little bit better pickup shoes.
Nice.
I played around with several different motor magnets and settled on Pro 7s. I am by no means a 4-gear dragster expert, so I kind of built it how I build my magnet traction cars. So it's basically got Pro 7 motor magnets and kind of the equivalent of a mean green. That's a Typhoon OS3 armature. So I swapped out the Auto World armature with a little bit more powerful armature, and just kind of trialed and errored running it around my Viper track until I could get it to go as fast as I could. And that's what I ended up with.
Feels tight.
Yeah, nice. It's not as free spinning as I would like. That OS3 arm is really not meant for that housing, but it's faster and better than the stock arm. So, yeah.
It's very nice looking. Like I said, it's very tight. And if you look at the back here, right there, Murder Valley Racing was talking about how loose some of those are and how they wobble around. It appears
I literally rigged up something to hammer that kind of rivet type thing that's holding that gear in to tighten it up as much as I could.
Right.
Without destroying it.
See, that's when as soon as I found the motor that I wanted in the chassis, what I needed to do was find the rear that was tight like that, because I didn't want to have to go squashing any rivets. But when you have 50 4-gear chassis to go through, then you just sort of find the best one kind of thing. So that's what we got here. This is Mark's entry. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much, Mark, for entering the contest.
Sure. And I will say that chassis started out as under my Batmobile.
Is that right, eh?
Yeah, I actually ordered a 4-gear pit kit, but it just wasn't a very good chassis. I don't know, the mesh with the rear gear. My Batmobile chassis was the best one I had, so I sacrificed the Batmobile to send you as good a 4-gear as I could.
Right.
Yeah, Batman's not too happy, but hey,
that's if you go to my store, the Pro Tinker Toys exclusive red Batmobile shell is there because the 4-gear came from.
I will say that chassis running around my track with that 5.5 ohm arm was doing like 3.5 seconds. It was doing like what a Bulldog was doing around my track. So
really?
That thing actually is a pretty good roadster.
Oh my gosh. Did you put it on the dyno? What did you get on the dyno? Okay. There we go. Last look. Okay, so sorry, Mark, explain to me the shoes one last time here.
Can you guys hear me still?
Yep.
Yeah,
we got you.
Okay. You guys froze up on me for a second there.
Oh. Okay, so Mark, explain to me one last time what kind of shoes you have on this.
Those are just magnet traction from Viper. I put those on most of my magnet traction cars have those pickup shoes.
Okay, so this is like stock then?
Those are what you would get from if you ordered pickup shoes for a magnet traction from Viper. That's what they sell.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look a little thinner, hey?
Much thinner.
Yeah. Better contact too, by the looks of it. Excellent.
Yes, I tweaked those so they should be laying down pretty nice and flat on at least that step part of it. Obviously, is laying down nice and flat on the rails.
Right. Okay, so that takes care of Mark's chassis. One last quick look here. Very nice. Thank you very much, Mark, for participating. I appreciate it.
Sure. Looking forward to seeing how it does.
So we'll put that aside and we'll do some dyno numbers on it too. But I'm going to run them before we put them on the dyno because I think the dyno probably might give away a little too much. So we'll keep,
I can tell you what that was pulling on my dyno if I remember correctly. I don't know if you want to know, or I'll let you do it on yours. I won't tell you.
All right. So here we are. This will be this is Chris's entry from Southern Slot Racing. Thank you very much, Chris.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here we go.
Watch out for all the confetti.
Woo! Glitter. Glitter bomb. Oh, shit, eh? Dude, I sent you a slot car. All right. Thank you very much, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Is this a sticker?
Yes, it is a sticker.
Awesome. That's going on my new layout, bro, right on the edge. Yeah. Anybody in the comment section who has a channel or would like to donate stickers to me to put on my racetrack, let me know. Okay, so what we have here from Chris. Chris gave me a detailed list of what's in the car. Thank you very much, Chris.
Yes, sir.
So what we got, I guess I should first show the car so that we all know it actually exists. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. All right. Nectar of the Gods. Oh, I see a familiar looking arm in there. Very nice. Oh. All right. So let me go over what we have here, folks. All right. Let's just turn it this way. And I'll hold it like this.
I think I did put a metal pin in mine. Did I put a metal pin?
Yes.
Guide pin in mine?
Yeah, you did, Mark. There's definitely a metal pin.
Sorry, Chris. That's going to give me the edge.
It is. I've already know. I'm glad we got your address because they're all coming to you.
I'm sure mine's going to come in last now.
Okay, so here's what we got. Of course, we have an Oddworld chassis. It's the HCS AMG Pro 7 motor magnets.
Hardin Creek. Yep.
Yep. And then we have, once again, Hardin Creek AMG silicone slick on 0.54 outside diameter black. And we have an OS3 Typhoon 5.5 ohm stock speed armature. Of course, it's an OS3 by TFX, and it's a pancake motor for made for cars. So here we are. Don't have a dyno, but it won't matter until after the race anyways. So here's what we got. Now, tell me about it, Chris.
No, it's in fact the video. I did a video. It's out there about this build. It started off as a pit kit, and it was the Camaro pit kit, and it's I changed out the magnets inside to Pro 7s, and I stayed with the stock front end and the stock rear wheels, and just put a larger wheel slick silicone on there, and then again I changed out the oh good gosh, the pickup to more copper and flat, so that it sits pretty flat on the track. So didn't have a dyno, but I ran it around my little figure 8. It held the track. That's all I cared about.
Yeah.
So it was a good experience. That was my first time dealing with a pit kit. My first time putting one of these together. So it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
Good, and that's the whole thing, right? Is, you know, you're not supposed to be stressing out over it and that kind of thing too. Oh, the pin was a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll loosen it. What I'll do is I'll end up putting a steel pin there, just to keep it all even for everybody. So I find every once in a while the plastic will jam up and the fin goes sideways,
and
then it obviously just locks in one of the gaps down the track. So
oh,
all good.
Or it just pops clean off.
Pops right off. Yeah, like very good for slow motion. All right. Well, thank you very much, Chris. I absolutely appreciate your entry as well. So we'll just have another quick look at the two cars. Let me blow this up.
They look fast just sitting in your hand.
Yeah.
I think they're literally the same power plant and same pickup shoes. So
yes,
just the tires could come down to the tires.
Right.
I think you should put them on the dyno. I want to see what they do.
Of course, I didn't. My little rivet back there is standard, so you might have the upper hand if you've hammered down your little rivet. Because that is notorious, the little rivet.
Yeah. No, it looks pretty tight, Chris. You can see it's not wobbling around there, brother.
Good.
Yeah, there's a little bit, but I mean, you're going to get a little bit anyways. It's plastic against metal. But
right.
This is the ones that I've seen are like literally like whoom, whoom,
yep.
whoom.
I've got some that just wobble, just like a fishtail in there.
Right, and trying to keep that car on track's like damn near impossible too. So, there we go. All right. So, yeah. So that's what we got going on. So now, of course, we have the cars, your cars. For a minute, let's talk about what brought you guys to choosing these parts for the car. The car was standard. Was a standard 4-gear Auto World. That was the competition. So when I said that, I know everybody right off the hop is trying to get a AFX or Aurora armature into it, and that really makes for some good videos, because you cannot do that. But if we never would have tried, we wouldn't have known. So for those who aren't sure, you cannot put an AFX armature in an Auto World car. The heights of them are different and they don't go together. They're not compatible at all. There's just no way of making that happen whatsoever. So what we had here was a standard chassis, and of course, private companies or private businesses would have been the people who would be supplying these parts. Thank you very much, Raul, for joining us. I appreciate it, brother. Hey, check out the shirt, man. Thank you. I absolutely appreciate it, guys. If you want to support Raul and his Conquest Racing Club, please make sure you check him out, and you go check out his store too. It's absolutely fantastic. He's got a lot of cool gear there, especially from other creators. So very soon you will find my stuff in his store as well. It's very well priced and absolutely fantastic gear. So let's start with Mark. So what was sort of your inspiration behind? Well, I throw the competition out, and what goes through your mind right away with what you need to do to get the chassis going?
Well, I knew the armature had to go. I mean, that was this. That's a pretty high ohm armature in that car, but the challenge was getting it on, like you said. I did try to use an AFX 4-gear. I even tried modifying it. I was dremeling and sanding, and I'm like, oh, Dan will never know if I put an AFX arm in here. But it just wouldn't, it wouldn't really spin right. It wouldn't work. I had my doubts even that the Typhoon arm was going to fit properly in that housing.
Right.
So I just knew I wanted to get a lower ohm arm in there, and I settled on that Typhoon arm. It was, I didn't want to break the bank on this competition, so
No.
I was toying with getting a balanced arm and things like that, and then I was like, for this particular application, I pretty much, like I said, I pretty much built it like I do most of my magnet traction cars. Basically, a mean green level ohm armature with Pro 7 magnets seems to be a pretty good combination. So that's kind of what I went with for the power plant of that chassis. Then I started playing around. I ordered like 3 or 4 different size tires and compounds, and I wish I had a drag strip with a timer so I could really test it out, but I just kind of went by feel and sight when the car looked like it was running the fastest around my track, and started racing it on my Viper, and I was like, wow, this thing actually handles and runs pretty darn good. I almost didn't want to send it to you.
4 gears on a flowing track like yours, Mark, work absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Batman would have loved to have had that chassis put back under him, the Batmobile.
Yeah, you never know. You might be running a class of your own at home there right away.
I may have to build one more just for the Batmobile.
Yeah. Nice.
And,
all right.
And I knew it needed better pickup shoes, because those friggin' tin or whatever they're made of that come on those Auto World cars are just horrible.
Terrible.
So.
And
I did also play around with a couple of different types of brush springs and brushes, actually.
Right. And did you find that made a difference at all?
I think I ended up using the stock springs, and I bought some high performance brushes, and they actually had a negative effect on the car compared to just the flat. I think I did go with a better brush and new springs from either Hardin Creek or Viper. Yeah.
All right.
I kept playing around with it till I got the highest number on my dyno. So.
Luke, you're not really looking for a 4-gear part. You're more or less looking for an extraction parts as well. It's exactly the same motor setup. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
The fact that Wizard make a 4-gear chassis and parts. Yeah, no, Wizard does not make a 4-gear chassis or parts. I don't think anybody other than Auto World and AFX make a 4-gear. Well, I guess Jag has an equivalent, right? That fits 4-gear bodies. I guess if you want to go higher end, Jag is your best option.
Right. And the good
4 gears.
And the good thing about that, though, is that Jag chassis is not going to cost you an arm and a leg. That's what I really like about that. It's a very I like to say it's a very legitimate and worthy replacement. Financially, I really feel like it was a good deal. The DR1s were a fantastic replacement. If you're super serious, the whole thing is, though, like, let's remember, when you put 2 cars on the track, you're not going to put a Jag next to a Viper. You're not going to put a Viper next to an Auto World. You're not going to put an Auto World next to a Jag. There's no comparing any of those. They're going to be in their own class. So remember, when you have one, you need to have at least 2, or you don't have yourself a race. All you got is an ass whooping. And we all love a good ass whooping, but it's only fun for the first, 5 or 6 times. So, try and always remember pairs, like the ants, 2 by 2. All right. So let's talk to Chris now. So what's your inspiration behind this chassis, Chris?
Well, being new to the hobby, I went and did research on different forums and stuff like that. And then went and looked at the Viper and looked at Hardin Creek and Jag and looking for different parts and accessories and just a little bit of my. I'm not an electronic person by no means, but I know Ohm's law and that kind of stuff. So I'm a little bit educated hillbilly, but but the no, I like Mark says, I got rid of those pickup shoes because of that silver plated. I figured copper would be a better conductor, so I went and found those from Hardin Creek. Not much on magnets, so it was just a swag on that. Go between the Pro 7 and the 10. Didn't want to go too strong. Didn't want to go standard. So I kind of went in between.
I actually bought the Pro 10s and tested them, and you made the right choice. The Pro 10s were too strong and slowed the car down, actually.
And two, trying to look at it from an entry level type standpoint, replacing the armature is no joke. It's I've never done it before, so when I selected that 5.5 armature, that was an education in of itself. I didn't have the little special awkward micro tool to do it. Just good old fashioned pry, hope and pray, and put it all back, and it did work. The tires, I only bought the one set, so that was a wild guess on that too. I didn't have the tire measure or anything like that, so I didn't really know a good gauge. So when I did get the tires, only bought the. So I'll back up the armature. The reason I went with it was $795.
Yeah, well, that's reasonable price, right?
Right, and so I've spent $12 at Hobby Lobby on the pit kit. I spent $8 on a motor, and the shoes, pickup shoes, are 5 sets for $5. So that's not that bad. Yeah. And the Pro 10 magnets, Pro 7 magnets were $6.50. So I'm getting in to a high end. Other car, so I don't want to, I'm almost get to a Viper here with too many prices, and so I'm trying to keep it below because it's an auto world, right? That's my whole train of thought. I don't want to, max it out with a bunch of parts. So, and the tires were $2.74. So,
and I noticed William's comment. Yeah, I actually did shim my magnets. I think I just used some masking tape just so they didn't move in the holders.
And so Mark's got this whole scientific approach, and Feller here is new, trying to learn and figured it out, and just trial and errors. Basically, that was my approach, and just see what works, what didn't work, what broke, what didn't break, and the old saying, if it don't fit, force it, and if it breaks, it we need to replace it anyway.
Yeah. That's great for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so I just didn't want to have a AFX car for an Auto World car, So I just tried to keep the cost down, and didn't go too crazy. The only one thing I did notice after I started to go buy some more tires, and I said, nah, what the hell. But it depends on the chassis that you put on, because it's the chassis here that came with it. Not the chassis, but the shell. And that's the Camaro. And the one thing you have to do with the Camaro is they don't tell you the wheels are too far forward. So you've got to pull the wheels and go back a notch to make this fit. And so when you said don't send the shell, I was like happy because I didn't want to yutz with the front end.
Yeah.
And so it's just like I said, just trial error, have fun. And I didn't, if I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. I don't anticipate it with Mark in the house blowing the doors off.
Right.
This science and high level of racing expertise.
You got all the same parts in yours that I do, so I think.
You know what else is going to happen though, right? I'm going to put those two chassis on a Top Fuel dragster shells. So we'll do the competition, and just for fun, I want to put them on the Top Fuels. So obviously, I'll have to take apart the front axle. Yeah. And I'll put them back together, no big deal. But it'll be cool to see them run as Top Fuels as well, too. So we'll be running them as the funny cars for the contest, and then the top fuels will just be something fun because you guys haven't lined them up. The top fuel sits a little high on the back end, so your shoes won't line up. I'll have to tweak them a little bit, probably, but it should look pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, if you take the independent front end off of mine, just watch out for those little. There's two little holders that.
Yeah, the little tube things or whatever.
Yeah, they're like a little press retainer.
They're what stops the axle from coming off the end, or what?
They're what holds the hub on and lets the rims, wheels, whatever your term is, spin.
Right.
So, the wheels are not attached to the axle. Those little end retainers are.
I did my last video was it was called Friday Night Faux Top Fuel Faux or something like that. I actually went through a good portion of all my 4-gear chassis and I ran them all on the dyno. It was quite a lengthy little session. But this time I won't be running the cars on the dyno until we're done the competition because the dyno will instantly give away the winner. It's not as if the cars need to go around the track or not. It's literally who can spin their wheels the fastest. Of course,
although it's who can spin the wheels the fastest that maintains traction.
Right. So it's
a fast car.
And let's not forget, it is winter in my house. Well, it's not winter in my house. It's winter outside of my house. So my basement is like 18C, 17 and a half. It's cool. It's like a really cool, brisk day with the air.
Get a little hair dryer out and just kind of tires for us, please.
Right? Yeah, totally. I get a couple of them, like 3 of them on a stand pointing towards the track the whole entire time. Awesome. All right. So, does anybody have any questions?
I don't know. I'm reading some comments. It sounds like there's some experienced modders out there for drag racing. They should have sent some chassis in. Talking about drilling. Here you go. There's Robert talking about some of the comments about drilling holes in the chassis and
cooling.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's I was never a drag racer guy, so no, I'm sure there's a lot more that can really be done if you. I did research like Chris did. I went on some forums as well. I almost bought some pretty fancy rear tires, and I was going to go a little crazy, but I
was looking for.
I held back.
I was looking for polished or brass gears that you could put on the top plate. And they help the friction, but all I could find was one, and it's like we're still plastic on either side. So I was like, man, I gave that up real quick.
Yeah. And you know what I didn't even think of? I know it's a really far out idea, but have you guys ever seen the belt drive for the 4-gear?
Mm-mm.
The gears come out and a belt goes on.
I've seen that. I've seen that someone do that belt drive. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been curious to know how that works, because if that works, that's a direct line right from the armature to the back axle instead of it going through one if it's an extraction or two extra gears if it's a 4-gear, right?
Yeah.
And that would certainly speed up. The reaction would be instant, because when a 4-gear takes off, all those gears got to lock up first.
Right.
We all seen a train take off. A train doesn't take off and all the cars go with it. It's bumping all the way back, bunk, 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 grabbing all the cars moving forward. Okay, so that's our first 2 contestants. The next 2 will be Rich and Matt from Patriot Hobbies. Still trying to get a hold of Rich, but hopefully he'll join us. If not, I'm absolutely sure that he may have something to say about it at least. So for those of you who don't know, my 2,000 subscribers is 1 or 2 days away. So in advance, everybody who's here right now, I want to thank all you guys. I'm so pumped. I'm so blown away that I finally got to 2,000. I want to thank you guys. Absolutely fantastic. Now, my 2,000 subscribers. Oh, and by the way, everybody, this is my 500th video.
Woo!
500 videos for you guys. So I've been putting out videos for 2 years now, and 500 videos later, I just want to say hi to everybody. Thank you very much. I absolutely appreciate it. You guys are the best. 2,000 wise now, I have something that I've ordered because the original arrangement for my 2,000 subscriber show won't be happening, but I do have a really good sort of in place thing. So what I'll do is, of course, everyone knows that I'm having to move Slot Valley Racing, and I'm trying to get things going on. So for my 2,000 subscriber show, I will be. I will be showing that. No, not that.
Yeah, there you go.
This. So this is the Spirit of Speed, and this will finish off my track. So that's what I'll be looking at, and then of course talking about my 2,000 subscribers. I hope that anybody who has a channel would like to drop in and be part of the panel and pop in and out, say hi or what have you. Please do so. I'd absolutely appreciate that. Like as always, let's use it as a time to get people to our channels as opposed to just using it as a way for me to get ahead. I'd rather everyone show up so that they can be mentioned and properly accredited for their awesome YouTube work. I want to thank you guys. I absolutely appreciate everything that's been happening. And of course, it's not the end of HO. I can tell you right now, my drag strip, I'm going to be ending up cutting it right off the table so that I'll be able to put it on a stand. So my drag strip will definitely be staying, the HO one. I absolutely love that. I put a lot of money into that sick dragon timing system. So I definitely plan on keeping it and making definitely good use of it. And like I said, my Carrera setup will finally be finished, and I'll be able to start making my first episodes of Discovering Carrera, where I'll be talking about what I've been doing in regards to Carrera. And then, of course, I'll be also bringing along my friends who are discovering Carrera along with me. So that we can all do it together kind of thing. And Chris would be one of those people. He also has been enjoying 132 lately, and we're going to discover it together, and we'll see how things go. But of course, there's always room for HO. Man, I love HO. HO's got a lot of cool stuff, but I just want to enjoy it all. There's no reason why you should lock yourself down unless you absolutely have to, or unless you've gone that one step further. I mean, you can't afford to have 3 different Viper tracks in your house. Well, maybe you can, but it's kind of like if you made that choice, then that's probably where you're going to be, which is fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And just even looking at stuff like on YouTube, on Facebook. Anybody who wants to check me out on Facebook, it's Dan SBR. Apparently, people seem to like my track there. It's already got 2,000 views. So all good. Maybe that's why I've gotten to 2,000 subscribers a little sooner than I expected. I didn't expect to be here until the end of the month. So it's kind of cool. And of course, everybody here is the reason for that. And I want to thank all of you guys. I absolutely appreciate it. We're just a hair under the hour mark today. And like I said before, this is going to be called the Thursday Night Power Hour, where we're going to pack as much shit into one episode as we possibly can. And today, I think we've jammed it pretty tight. I want to thank everybody for being here today. Slot Car Daddy, yeah, right. All scales. Like I said, if you can afford to have a little bit of this and a little bit of that in your life, then that's what you do. It's the same
when,
thing as
Dan, when is the actual race? When are you going to run the cars?
December 15th. December 15th will be the competition date. Like I said, I'll be pairing cars, chassis with their shells right after the next. So I'm going to have the meeting with Matt and Rich, or Matt and Rich, or whatever combination that works with. That'll get the other two chassis out of the way, and then they'll just be mine. And then that'll bring us to where I'll pair the. I know it seems like it's going on forever, but I'll pair the chassis. Right, got to make something of it. I mean, literally, you could send it to me.
And are you? How are you going to? Like, you going to do a certain number of runs each car, or just one shot, or like how many you going to do? Like best of 3, or
each car will do 5 runs.
Okay.
And from those 5 runs, we'll take the best 2 runs of those 5. I know it sounds silly, but we'll take the best 2 of every car, because what we'll end up doing is the first time around. I'll explain it then. But why I plan on taking the first and second best time is because it's very possible that the first time might be not as good as the second time, and the second time might beat another car's fastest time. I know it's a little confusing, but it just makes it a little more simple than, oh, you're the fastest, you're the winner. So we've got to make a little show out of it. So
yeah, no, sounds good.
So it should be good, and of course, in the end, it's all about making a slow and cumbersome car or chassis a little better. At the very least, it'll give people some better ideas, or even just alternate ideas. I'm sure some people, haven't thought about using the OS3 armature. Of course, that's available in 2 different ohms, if I'm correct.
Yes.
5.5 and what else?
I have to look real quick, but I think there's one lower in there, Mark.
Well, I mean, you can go real low if you want. Maybe not from OS3, but there are other suppliers out there of pancake, armature.
Yeah, William, if you're gonna buy a set, go see. Definitely go see our good friends at Sunday Slot Car. See what they can do for you there. They had a pretty good deal when I got mine, so just saying. Go see Billy, say hi, let him know I sent you. Don't know if it'll make a difference, but can't hurt. Here we go. I guess, Mark, have you encountered HO drag strips at your club, at the clubs you go to?
Not HO. They have the larger. The
124th, right?
I think it is 124th. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they use those cars because they can use model car kits, correct? Like, I think that.
Yeah, I don't know.
No idea.
Yeah, that's just from what I've seen I follow a couple of folks on YouTube that are drag racing, and they're the 124th, 125th, so they can use the actual model kits as details.
And that's what I always see. I see these little kids, and it always seems to be a little kid with an adult racing his dad or whatever, but the car's like as big as the kid's head.
Right.
Looks fun though. But man, is that track ever big and long? Yeah.
It looks like the 5.5 is the lowest dome that OS3 actually does.
5.5. Gotcha. And the other one is what, 12?
They have 5.5, 14.5, 16.5, 18, and 20.
Okay, so now what's in the current auto world?
It's 14, I think.
Yeah, it's somewhere like that. 14, 16.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up.
I forget. I owned it out, but I can't remember what it was.
Now, what is the so the cost to wind Auto World's armatures? Can they wind a better armature for the same price? Like, if you're gonna, the ohms is all about the winding, right?
Right.
So what does that mean? They'll have to go around the armature one more time with a wrap, or because
it depends on the gauge of the wire, how many feet of wire they used. But in theory, like in Ohm's law, the lower the ohms, the more current that the motor is going to draw, and the faster it will go.
Right. Well, that makes sense. Okay, so that ends our end of the first Thursday night power hour. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Absolutely fantastic, guys. I appreciate it. Please make sure to check out my 2,000 subscriber video. And remember, if you're a creator, stop in. Please be part of the panel briefly, if only short. Please stop in, say hi. I appreciate it. Once again, it's just going to be about, of course, me pumping up, trying to get everybody else out there. I want to make sure that everybody knows everybody. It seems like the numbers are still way too lopsided. I don't understand how my numbers can be like this and someone be like this, and yet we're all interacting with the same people. Sometimes I wonder if someone's like, oh, I'm very brand specific, I can't click on their subscribe because I'm subscribed to this channel. If you think that way, folks, that is absolutely not the case. Click on everybody who has something to do with slot cars. It really doesn't hurt you in any way, YouTube-wise. In fact, it just makes the algorithm think that slot cars is a lot more important. To us, it's important. So what does it mean? If you watch a slot car video, and I can tell you right now, I've seen an awful lot of videos with people who have under 100 subscribers, and yet they have 1,400 views on their video. How do you have 100 to only 100 subscribers and 1,400 views? What to tell you? It's because people watch and don't hit the subscribe.
Yep. So
just try to remember that, guys. But for now, I want to thank you all, and we'll definitely see you the next live for me will definitely be number 2,000. So thank you guys very much. I absolutely appreciate it. So Chris, let's wind her down, brother.
Hey, get out there, get you a pit kit, try it out if you've not built one. It's a great way to enjoy the hobby, and just another aspect. You get to learn the different aspects of the car. Get a Viper kit, build it, or not kit, but break it down, build it back up, learn the hobby. That's what I'm doing. And even on the 1/32 scale, I'm tearing them down, bringing them back together, see how they're made. They're pretty simple machines if you get right down to it, but it's enjoyable. It's cool.
Awesome.
I agree. That's what you got to do. Get your hands dirty.
Right. So, that pretty much covers it for tonight, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, look at that. We just went red.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup. You want to go do
slot cars in the garage?
Yup.